everyone, my name is Zion and welcome back to my channel, Life with Zion. For anybody new here, we talk about anything from money, mindfulness, manifestation, education, and more. Today, I'm super excited because we're going to be talking about paying off your credit card debt fast. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to smash the like button down below and subscribe because it's completely free. All right, guys, let's get to the video. I actually have a special guest who will be appearing on the video later, but first I'm gonna give you 5 steps to pay off your credit card debt very quickly. Step number 1 is to figure out what debt you actually owe. The best way to do that is by looking at your credit report. You can go to annualcreditreport.com and get your free annual credit report. Step number 2 is to create a budget. It's super important to know how much income you have coming in each month and how much expenses you are paying each month. Separate your expenses into necessary expenses such as rent, utilities, groceries, and unnecessary expenses such as Netflix and other subscriptions that you may have. And figure out how much of your unnecessary expenses you can get rid of, and take that money and throw it at your debt. Step number 3 is figuring out if you can actually lower your interest rate on your credit card debt. You can do that 3 ways. The first way is through debt consolidation. And what that means is you will look at all of your different credit cards and the debt that you have with each credit card. And you're going to see if you can consolidate that debt into a personal loan. The reason for that is your credit card debt might have a higher interest rate than your personal loan would. And in turn, by consolidating it, it would end up saving you money. Personal loans are not the best for everyone's situation, so I'd really advise you to do more research into this. You can also do something called a credit balance transfer. That's when you take the credit card debt that you have on one credit card and transfer it to another credit card. The reason for this is there are credit cards out there that offer you an intro special of a 0% APR for a number of months. So by moving that credit card debt to that other credit card, you'd be able to actually catch up on paying off this debt without having to pay that really high interest rate. Another option that you could do is collateralizing your debt or a collateralized loan. You can also do debt refinancing, and you can move your credit card debt to another debt such as an auto loan. The reason that some people do this is because your credit card debt is something called an unsecured debt, and auto loans are something called a secured debt. Unsecured debt, like credit cards, tend to have a lot higher interest rate than secured debt. With that said, collateralizing your loan and refinancing your loan are both pretty complicated options, and I would advise you to do a lot more research before you decide which one. So I'll go ahead and link in the description box down below a bunch of different articles and resources that you can use to do more research. Step 4 is to implement a plan to actually pay that off. You can do that 2 ways. You can do that with the Snowball method and the avalanche method. The Snowball method is when you organize all of your debts from lowest to highest amount and you pay them off that way. With the debt avalanche method, you organize your debts from debts with the highest interest rate to the debts with the lowest interest rate, and you pay off your debts that way. Lastly, if you have finished your budget and you are noticing that you don't have enough money left over at the end of the month, then you might want to get another job, like a side hustle. I actually made a video titled 15 highest paying side hustles that you can take a look at. Now I'm really excited to introduce Nathaly from the Financial Talk. Hi everyone, we have Nathaly today from the Financial Talk joining us to talk a little bit about how she's paying off her student loan debt. I think I wanted to start off by asking you, how did you come up with the Financial Talk / start it?
First of all, Zion, thank you so much for having me here. I started the Financial Talk because I wanted to encourage people to take care of their finances, especially women, because I think there's not a lot of women in the financial space. If you go to YouTube, you will see mostly men, and I think it's really important for us as minorities and as a young adult to spread the word and motivate people to take care of their finances, because this is a really important topic that it's going to be useful for your whole life, right? Yeah. Your whole life goes around your finances.
Yeah, I completely agree. When I first started on YouTube too, I did definitely notice that there weren't a lot of women, especially minority women, talking about finances. So I think it's really great that you have the Financial Talk and you are motivating other women and other minority women to really talk about finances.
Thank you.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about your mindset about money. What is your mindset about money, and has it changed since for the past couple of years?
Yes, so I think money is important, but it's not the most important thing out of life. Even if you have a lot of money, that doesn't mean that you're going to be truly happy. In Ecuador, I did not enjoy having a lot of money. We were just a middle income family, and my mom raised me as a single mom as well. So I saw her struggling with that. And even when I was in university, she made a lot of sacrifices to help me finish my university here in Canada. So, yes, I think when I moved to Canada, I realized that I had to do something to do not fall under that circle again, right? It's in the sense of money, the money aspect. I did not want to repeat my mom's story. So it has changed a lot. By moving here, I became independent. Little by little, I told my mom to stop sending me money, that I will take care of my finances and that will be my responsibility. So right now, money is important for me, and, making more money, but not to show off, but to take care of my finances. And my goal is to be financially independent and retire early.
I love that. I think we have very similar stories in the sense of I was also brought up by a single mom, and I also have the goal of not making a lot of money or having a lot of money to be showy with it, just to be financially stable. So I really, really love that. Next, I think I know that you have some student loan debt. And have you started paying off the student loan debt? If so, do you use any specific methods to pay off the student loan debt?
Yes, so I have a student loan debt. I had to take a loan my last year of university because my mom couldn't afford it anymore. So I just said, like, okay, this is my turn now. I will take this loan, and it's around 20K US dollars in a loan, which I guess is not that much compared to the average student loan in the United States or Canada, but still a lot for me because I just have an entry level job. And yes, I started paying it off. It's a little bit hard for me because the currency, the conversion of the currency, right? I earn in Canadian dollars and I have to pay a US dollar loan. However, I did not let that affect me, and I keep motivating myself. And how I pay off, I do budget every month, and I make sure that I include my student loan debt on my budget, and that way I can pay off every month, and or even in advance, to pay off the student loan.
That's awesome. I'm curious, do you use a specific method? I know I've heard of like the debt snowball method, for example, or the avalanche method. Do you use either of those, or do you use a different type of method to pay off the debt?
Yes, so before I used to have credit card debt as well, because I used my credit card to pay for a semester of university. And, I was like struggling a lot. And this is one of the reasons I started listening to Dave Ramsey podcast.
I
And
love Dave
thanks to him,
Ramsey.
yes, I started using the debt snowball method to pay off my credit cards. And right now, I do not use any method because the only debt I have is my student loan. So I just use the zero-based budget. So I have one column for all my income, another column for my fixed expenses, my variable expenses, and at the end of the month, it has to equal to zero. If there's any amount, let's say $100 left or something like that, I will use it towards the next month.
Nice.
So on my budget, I do make sure that I have a line for debt. So that's my student loan, and make sure that I pay the amount that I have put there. If not, if I have like more money available, I'll put more towards the next month.
Oh wow, that's really smart. It's really interesting and really helpful, especially since I also am in student loan debt, and I'm graduating in roughly a month. So my goal is to start paying off that debt as soon as I graduate. So definitely going to use some of these ideas and suggestions that you have put out for us. My last question, just to wrap it up, is just what advice would you give to any other young adults who is really starting their journey to pay off debt?
I will say that you're not alone. There's a huge community out there that even myself, I was not aware of when I started this. Is the debt-free community. So you can definitely, we're in the era of social media, so you can use your social media to stay motivated. And the first step is just to sit down, go through your finances, credit card debt, student loans, see how much income you make and create a budget and stick to it. Look at ways to reduce your expenses. If you go out a lot to eat, it doesn't mean that you have to stop like completely going to bars or restaurants or, entertaining yourself. You can still do that, but everything with balance. So that's going to help you to pay off debt as soon as possible and be debt-free and financially independent.
I completely agree. I really loved your part about talking about you don't necessarily have to cut out all the things that you absolutely love, and just creating your budget doesn't have to be boring or scary, and that you can really create a budget for you. So I really, really loved that.
Exactly. Like everyone's situation is different. Maybe the 50-20-30 budget won't work for you, or the zero-based budget won't work for you. So it is your duty, it is your responsibility to see what works for you and see what makes you happy, because budgeting is not about having a miserable life. It's just about yourself and what works for you.
I love that. Well, Nathaly, thank you so much. Once again, everybody, this is Nathaly from The Financial Talk, and I will make sure to have all of her socials linked down below. And please go check out her YouTube channel. It's absolutely amazing, giving all of the best advice and tips for how to manage your money. All right, guys, that's all for today.
Thank you. Thank you, Sian, for having me here. And yes, check out my social media. And if you have any questions, feel free to direct message me and I will respond as soon as possible.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.